Bendy and the ink machine. Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be reacting to one of the videos from the YouTube channel The Game Theorists. I'm a huge fan of their work and I hope that you will like this video as well. This video came out in the year 2018, I think it's around 3 years ago, so yeah. Thank you. Let's watch it together.
Chalk up another victory on the game theory win sheet.
Bendy's ending, Purple Guy's mystery, Mario 3 is the plan. Isaac is reborn!
With the release of Bendy's last chapter, all my theories were put to the test, and it looks like we were overall pretty darn right. At least for the things the Meatly wasn't purposely misdirecting us on. Allison and Thomas were indeed revealed to be perfect Alice and Cyborgs. Human souls are indeed used to power the ink machine. And most importantly of all, we totally called that Joey Drew would be revealed to be the true identity of Monster Bendy. Wait, you're saying he wasn't? That he's just this old dude in his kitchen and Bendy is this mindless ink monster? Give me a few minutes. It'll all make sense soon because this is the end of Bendy and the ink machine.
The black and white. The black and contrast and the simple algorithms. MadPads presents Game Theory, the smartest show in gaming. Hello Internet, welcome to Game Theory, where you don't need a special lens to see our hidden message. Oh, where you don't need a special lens to see our hidden message. Oh, it's regarding to the ARG, it's the alternate reality games that MadPad was doing back then. That's awesome.
Hello Internet, welcome to Game Theory,
where you don't need a special lens to see our hidden messages.
He ruined your... No! Come on! No! It's very educational. His videos is very motivating and inspiring. And it's just knowledgeable and filled with wisdoms. Thank you so much, MadPad. I really do. Thank you so much, Game Theorists. Anyways, let's continue.
More often than not, they're hidden in plain sight right in front of your face. So, 5 chapters, 3 theories, and 1 year, 8 months, and 16 days later, it's finally over. The saga of our little devil darling Bendy reached its sepia-tinted conclusion and, well, it was controversial, to say the least. Slow stealth sections, Bendy going on full beast mode, and no appearance of the plunger, which is some of the complaints that I saw circulating online, but it was the ending that left most people in the inky dark. After fighting off Roid Rage Bendy, suddenly we're taken to a kitchen with Joey Drew washing some dishes before sending us back to the studio with the same exact words that kicked this whole thing off in the first place.
Come visit the old workshop. There's something I need to show you.
All right, Joey. I'm here. Let's see if we can find what you wanted me to see.
Are you kidding me? Every time this game launches a new chapter, I need to play through the whole thing again since it's so unstable I lose my save data. I'm telling you, if I haven't found what you wanted me to see...
This indie game continues to crash. Are you sure this isn't an AA title? We are just collecting some information and then we restart the entire series. So what the? 0% of 5 chapters completed. If you'd like to know more, you can search online for error. Oh, it's an ARG.
The other 5 times that I've gone through these chapters, this ain't it, Chief. Also, did it bother anyone else to hear Joey say, I need to show you?
There's something I need to show you.
But then the closed captions say, want to show you? You're rankling my OCD here, game. Anyway, I don't...
The wants and the needs.
I don't think it's an understatement to say that this was far from the ending the
Well, clearly it's the
series had been leading us towards, understandably causing frustration to gamers who'd spent the better part of the last 2 years theorizing about this game's mysteries. So today we're gonna dive down to the inky depths and add some color to a finale that most people found a bit sketchy. Let's begin. First things first, it's important to establish that the events in the game never really happened. At least, not literally, like we played through them. Yep, it's one of those, where everything is symbolic, like a dream theory, coma theory, or in this case,
The most unsatisfying ending in gaming. Dream theory, coma theory, story theory.
Theory. You see, the game tries to leave it open to interpretation, revealing in the endgame letter that repairman Thomas Connor is a bit miffed that someone stole his invention, the ink machine, only to show us a few seconds later, after the credits, that it's in Joey Drew's house. So could it all have been real? Yeah, it could have, but it's not very likely. That's why the entrance to Joey Drew Studios is attached to the kitchen, and why there's this dramatic visual shift when we're entering the real world. The game designers are trying to tell us through aesthetics that the studio isn't reality. This hallway with the 6 posters is very reminiscent of the opening hallway.
Yeah, it is.
And this
really
room
interesting.
is very reminiscent of chapter 1.
It is.
So this is my desk.
Where's my old
Wait,
desk?
oh.
I wasted so much time in this chair.
Making it even clearer is the fact that in the gameplay, Allison Pendle is transformed into the perfect Alice Angel, and Thomas Connor is cyborgs. But in real life, two are married and living happily together, with their time at Joey Drew Studios a faint memory in the distant past.
What? That means the entire game was a dream? Oh, wow, that was... The conclusion is just what?
There is very obviously a set of real-world events and a separate studio world. But making this distinction perfectly clear to us is this final post-credits moment. A little girl asking for yet another story from Uncle Joey.
Tell me another one, Uncle Joey.
It doesn't get any more direct than that. Another story, i.e. we were just told a story by Uncle Joey. So the 5 chapters of Bendy are just that, a 5-part story. But just because this was a story all along doesn't mean that it's not rooted in fact. Quite the contrary, it's Joey's version of the rise and fall of his studio. The small details in his story are inspired by things in the world around him. For instance, the little miracle safe stations throughout the game were actually just inspired by this TV and radio repair company that we see a flyer for posted on his bulletin board. And if you look really closely in the background during this post-ending bonus scene, on the back shelf there, you'll see a bunch of items that should look pretty darn familiar. A record, a plushie, a wrench, ink, a book, and a gear. All the items that we had to collect in Chapter 1 of the game to activate the ink machine, except now their visual style is more realistic. Real items that he's translated into the fictional animated story world that he's created.
Oh, that means is someone telling a story about regrets? Now that's sad.
As for the bigger plot points in the game, well, that's just Joey's life. Joey clearly created a studio with the help of Henry, who, as we guessed, was indeed the creator of Bendy. Once Henry left the business to spend time with his wife, the studio eventually died. In part due to changing entertainment trends, people simply growing out of the old silent black and white cartoons.
But when the tickets stopped selling, when the next big thing came along, only the monsters remained.
But also because of a series of bad business decisions by Joey, most notably Bendyland. We know this from all the overdue bills on Joey Drew's bulletin board, as well as blueprints of the failed theme park. It's possible that Joey tried to keep up, evolve the Bendy character, revive him for an older audience, as we see darker, more mature, more gun-happy versions of the characters on the animating table in his house, but clearly nothing has worked, leaving Joey a poor, broken old man. Which leads us to Monster Bendy. Why did I say that Monster Bendy is revealed to be Joey Drew? Well, it's because Bendy in the studio is a symbol of his regrets. Listen to his final dialogue in the kitchen.
I thought I knew who I was, but the success starved me. In the end, we followed 2 different roads of our own making. You, a lovely family. Me, a crooked empire. And my road burned. I let our creations become my life. The truth is, you were always so good at pushing, old friend. Pushing me to do the right thing. You should have pushed a little harder.
It's all a series of regrets. Regret that he didn't start a family, that he let himself become consumed by work and greed, that he lost a friend in Henry. Look at the letters on his bulletin board. Joey is reaching out to employees of the studio decades after they worked together. They've moved on with their lives. They've found love, other jobs, families, but Joey hasn't. He's trapped by the ghosts of his past.
Gosh, no. He's trapped by the ghosts of his past. His previous achievements is his handcuff. Oh.
All wrapped up in and represented by Bendy. No longer just a cute cartoonish devil, but now a twisted, shambling monster who roams the remains of his failed studio. The sharp-toothed embodiment of his own regrets. That's why Bendy sometimes helps you out throughout the game. Henry and Joey have this complicated relationship. That's also why you have to show Bendy the end to finish him off. To show him, and by proxy Joey, that era of his life is over. It's all a shadow of the past.
Only the monsters remain. Shadows of the past.
In a lot of ways, Joey Drew rightfully sees himself as the villain of his own story, all represented by Monster Bendy. It's incredibly sad. But then, what about Henry re-entering the studio? The mysterious writing on the walls? What does Joey want to show us? Well, from a literal standpoint, the writing that was on the walls was done by Henry. If you replay the game, you're given the ability to use a lens of truth in all the previous chapters. Each time the cycle repeats, you see on the walls that Henry makes a tally, and that he's able to call out certain events that happen every time he goes through the loop, where he's attacked by Sammy with the word ouch, where jump scares happen with the word peekaboo, etc. But confirming that it's Henry writing these messages are two in particular. His dream, My Effort, which reflects Henry's frustrations of working with and ultimately carrying the business of Joey Drew, as well as this one right next to a Joey Drew audio log, That's the Joey I Know. It's admittedly kinda odd that Henry compliments his own drawings here in the prison cell, and he might just want to check his grammar on this little bit of graffiti. Dream too big and you'll fail. More like grammar fail.
More like grammar fail, yeah! Oh gosh.
Am I right? Up top. Okay, don't have to high-five me, it's okay. I'm fine. But it's definitely Henry leaving these messages. It's also why we have flashes of hallucinations throughout the previous chapters. There are events from past iterations of the loop peeking through. But then, why is everything a cycle? What does Joey want Henry to see? Well, it's a story Joey has told himself, and probably those around him dozens of times. He's relived these moments, this twisted history of his failed business countless times. That's the thing about regret. It doesn't go away. It exists in a constant loop of what-ifs and alternate choices.
It doesn't go away. That's true. That's the thing about regrets. It just loops. What ifs? What if I did this? What if I did that?
As Henry himself points out, reliving the past does not change it. Joey being a prisoner of his own history is just a spiral of sadness, and no amount of reliving these events is gonna change them. That's why everything in these loops is so predictable. Every single cycle. Like Henry writes, there never was any choice. Making it worse is that, as Joey gets older, those he once worked with start passing away. Going through the game again, we see on the coffins the names of some of the key side characters. Susie Campbell, Grant Cohen, Bertram Piedmont, Lacey Benton, all dead and in their coffins.
It is not because of what you think it is. It's just age. It's just time. We come, we go. What is the legacy that we leave by? That is the most important question.
Sure, in the events of the cartoon studio, they may have been sacrificed to the ink machine, but I suspect what's really going on is that in real life, they're actually dead, passed away from old age or the like, which just makes Joey's situation worse. His past is crumbling away. The only people he ever had any connection with are fading away with time. Joey's alone, and he's dying alone. The only choice available for Joey is to end it, to put a close on Bendy and move on with his life. And it looks like that's finally what he's trying to do, sending out letters to his former employees to reconnect with them, to make sure that they no longer see him as the villain, that they weren't victims of the ink. Not literally like we see in the studio, but figuratively, as he fears his work destroyed and corrupted everyone around him. And they appear to be fine. They've forgiven him, which just leaves one. Henry, his oldest and most important friend, his co-founder, the one who represents everything that Joey's life could have and would have been, the perfect Bendy to Joey's twisted monster of regrets. When he invites Henry to the studio one last time, it's him bearing his soul to us. The ugliness, the regret. It's Joey asking Henry for forgiveness, yes, but it's also Joey asking Henry for permission to forgive himself. And if that post-credit scene is any indication, the permission is given. The cycle is broken. Henry forgives Joey and brings over his daughter to hear some stories from the old studio. Joey has a family at last.
Yes, that's a good ending. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was nice.
Tell me another one, Uncle Joey.
But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. The end.
The end. Tell me another one, Uncle Joey.
But hey, after an episode all about getting stuck in your regrets, the sponsor for today's episode wants to make sure that you guys don't have any regrets when it comes to buying stuff online. Honey, which is a nifty free browser plugin, automatically finds you every conceivable discount code available every time you buy something on the internet. It works on basically any website that's ever had a discount code ever, like Target, Amazon, Best Buy, and all those other places that you're gonna go to anyway to buy all the stuff that you are already buying and spending more money than you need to on. There is nothing that ruins a new jacket you just bought, new phone, or a new game, which are seriously expensive, than finding out that you could have paid less for it, or gotten yourself some free shipping, gotten the taxes paid for, whatever. I use Honey. I love Honey. It literally just runs in the background and lets me know every time I shop online when it finds discounts. I do nothing. It's like being the laziest coupon clipper ever. For this particular sponsorship, Honey actually went above and beyond. We teamed up with them to donate $500 worth of toys for charities to see how much Honey could save me. For my shopping spree, since this is on a Bendy and the Ink Machine episode, I headed over to Shop Disney because Disney characters are kind of like Bendy characters, and heck, what kid doesn't want a stocking full of Disney plushies? And stocked up on everything from art sets to lightsabers to scooters, to the tune of $557 until, of course, I applied the Honey discount. That took off shipping and got me 15% off of everything I purchased, which in turn brought my total down to $468, almost $100 less than I would have paid without Honey. At that point, I could afford to go back and buy Disney 3D modeling kits and even one of those really expensive Lego Star Wars sets with like the zillion pieces. It was awesome because that money was going directly into buying more toys for needy children, and it was all thanks to the extra savings I got because of Honey. Money that would have just been thrown away without it. Heck, I know we all got a lot of holiday shopping coming up, so if you want to save money too without having to do any extra work, just click the link in the description below or go to joinhoney.com/MattPat and become one of Honey's 10 million members, just like I am. Remember, it is totally free. That's joinhoney.com/MattPat. Happy holidays and happy savings.
It's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you will like this video as much as I did. This video is from the YouTube channel The Game Theorists, and yeah, this video is I'm glad that there's a happy ending, even though it's a very sad movie, sad game. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you next time. Yeah. Oh wait. If you do like this video, please consider to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Do follow my channel as well. Thank you. So it's like, share, subscribe, comment, follow, and yeah. And I'll see you next time. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much. Fun fact, from what I read, is that if, on average, if we pass on right now, the last time someone will remember our name will be 65 years later. After that, on average, you don't exist. They're just life, they're just things happen. And well,